Hello everybody, and welcome to my first Artcast. I've told you I want to try new things on this channel, so here I am, doing something new. For all of you who don't know what an Artcast is, it's basically a podcast about artsy stuff and topics. I personally love listening to those podcasts, and some of you guys have asked me to do some real-time drawing videos kind of things. Well, you asked and now you receive. I also want to use this to talk a little more about the topics I've mentioned in my last videos and to answer some of your questions. I told you I want to create a community for creative people on my channel, and I think this is a great way to reach out to you. And besides that, it's also a good practice for my English. So if you want to hear a little more of my German accent, stay tuned. But before I start talking about today's topics, I want to tell you what I'm creating here. Well, for this video I decided to make some plant labels for my garden. Since spring has finally arrived here in Germany, thank God, I spent most of the time with gardening and being outside, and I thought this would be a nice project to do. It is also a great way for me to connect the things I like with each other. So I'm trying to connect my garden with my art and calligraphy. You might know that I've started calligraphy at the beginning of this year, and I really need more practice, as you can probably see in this video. I'm also thinking about attending a calligraphy class or something. You know, actually I'm that kind of person who's like, I can do that. I don't need any help. I can teach myself. Well, maybe you can relate to that. However, sometimes it's way better to go outside and to take some help from someone. It doesn't mean you're weak in any way. It's rather the opposite. I mean, don't you feel the same sometimes? That you're afraid of asking someone for help? Although you know that at the end you will be very glad that you've made that step and asked someone. I see this kind of insecurity a lot, especially creative or young creative people tend to be kinda insecure. Which brings me to the main topic of this Artcast, anxiety. I mean, take this video for example. It's something new. I've never done this before, and I'm afraid of making it. Yes, I've said it, I'm afraid. Actually, I've planned to make a video like this a few weeks ago, I think. But my anxiety made me procrastinate it, and so it took me a while to make this. So stupid, I know. But I'm sure some of you are feeling the same. I mean, that's what I've tried to point out in my last video. That a creative block is nothing else but anxiety. And I think we should label it as such. It is not laziness. It is not the lack of talent. It's the fear of the unknown. The fear of something new. And do not think that it's something strange. Actually, I think it's so natural. We kinda try to avoid those situations because anxiety is like a warning signal of your body. So instead of confronting ourselves with this feeling of fear, we prefer to do nothing. And yeah, isn't it awesome to stay in bed and to do nothing? Well, I know I like that. And so did our ancestors, right? I mean, I read an article about anxiety the other day, and the woman who wrote it said that we should take a look at our gene pool. The ones who loved the risk and the adventure. The ones who weren't afraid of heights or saber-toothed tigers. I hope I said that right. Those people are probably not a part of our gene pool. And so, we're just a bunch of anxious people. but nobody really talks about it. Or how many people do you know? How many people tell you, oh, I'm afraid of a white canvas? Or sitting in front of a blank piece of paper kills me. Because again, it could be titled as weakness. People taught us not to talk about those things. It's embarrassing. Well, what if we change that? What if we talk about it? Not only would it help us, but I'm sure we would also figure out how many people are actually feeling the same. I think it gives you the opportunity to work on yourself. I mean, let's see it this way. Isn't it great to know that you're just afraid? If you know your obstacles, you can work on them. But who knows, maybe it's just a matter of time. Maybe we'll just lose the feeling of fear over time. I mean, wouldn't that be great? I kinda wish that I will lose my anxiety and my insecurity with age. I wish that I will be a very self-confident grandpa when I'm old. You know, get off my lawn. Wouldn't that be funny? Although I don't believe that wisdom comes with age. I know so many old people, very old people, who are just, well, stupid. I mean, let's just think about it. What do you think if Hitler would come back today? Oh, Oliver, what a great example. But anyway, what if he would come back today? How old would he be? 105? 110? I don't know. But do you really think that he would say something like, oh, you're right. I'm so sorry, I did a terrible mistake. Excuse me. I don't think so. However, I kinda hope that with age comes self-esteem, and that we will lose the urge of being perfect. I mean, perfectionism isn't always a bad thing, but it can be an obstacle. A very huge obstacle, to be honest. But you know what? I don't want to talk about perfectionism today. I think it's kinda pointless. I mean, if you want me to talk about it, then let me know in the comments, but today, Instead of talking about perfectionism, let me tell you about some things that inspired me recently, because maybe those things will inspire you as well. So, I have a question for you. Do you know Studio Ghibli, or Studio Ghibli? I don't know how you say it. A few weeks ago I've seen When Marnie Was There, which is an animated movie made by Studio Ghibli. I think it's actually from 2014, but I'm not sure. Well, I don't want to spoil you in any way. I can just highly recommend it to you. It's a great film about figuring out who you are, and it's so rich and so soulful. Just watch it, it's great. And it also has this awesome soundtrack, and the theme song, I think it is the theme song, it's just so beautiful. I will definitely put a link to it down in the description, so check it out. I'm sure some of you can really relate to that. Well, what else inspired me? I spent much time outside lately and enjoyed the sunny weather as much as I could. I went to this huge park the other day and I just took some nice shots. Well, I think they're kinda nice. I think to me it's just great to grab your camera and to walk around outside. Being alone for a while, that is something that gives me energy. Maybe it's because I'm more an introvert, but I'm not sure. Oh, and before I come to an end now, I want to share a video with you guys. A video that really cheered me up today. You know, sometimes YouTube recommends me really good videos, and this is definitely one of those. Actually, it's just 3 friends performing to a musical song. I think it is a musical song. But it's so much fun to watch, and it kind of reminded me of how great YouTube can be. The name of the guy who owns the channel is Timmy, and I hope you guys will check it out. And if you did, don't forget to leave a nice comment. Well, I think that's it for today. I really hope you've enjoyed this, and tell me if you want me to make more of these. Also, if you have any questions or if there's anything you want me to talk about in my next Artcast, write me a comment and I will see what I can do. Now, thank you guys so much for watching/listening. Anyway, have a great day. Stay creative, auf Wiedersehen und goodbye.